Canada and Ontario and British Columbia in particular are at the forefront of smart metering in the early 2000s. Greg, is Canada still a pioneer in smart metering and smart grid?
Yeah, currently over 80% of Canada has deployed smart meters, and a lot of jurisdictions now are revisiting and moving on to generation 2 of the smart metering deployments, and that would apply in most jurisdictions across Canada.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the Canadian market?
Yeah, so Canada is regulated provincially, so we have 14 regulators in Canada. And we have a hybrid of utility business models between public, private, vertically integrated, or broken down generation, transmission, and distribution type organizations. We have 2 integrated system operators in Canada. We are blessed with a significant amount of hydro and clean generation. Right now we're about 86% non-emitting generation in Canada. And we are blessed with very low rates compared to most of the world. I think our average rate across Canada is around 14 cents Canadian. And with that brings a lot of opportunity for intense electrification, which is a fairly significant strategy for a lot of jurisdictions in Canada.
And then what's the outlook going towards 2030 for smart grids?
So Canada has embraced electricity as a decarbonization strategy to meet its Paris targets. It is on a path to pass clean electricity regulation right now that is under public review. And it has a fairly aggressive set of policies and targets for utilities to decarbonize the way we generate electricity. We are on the path, like the rest of the world, to take coal out of our infrastructure. But the clean electricity regulation even goes further about limiting the use for natural gas for existing plants as well as the new plants that are generated. With regards to the load, so if we're decarbonizing all of our buildings and our infrastructure, that's going to put more of a strain on the grids and how we maintain a reliable grid across Canada. So from a smart grid perspective, we're going to need much more technology to optimize the way that we use electricity and manage it, and to limit the capital investment that we're going to need to decarbonize our energy uses. From within Canada, some of our jurisdictions are highly electrified. Quebec in particular, New Brunswick, the province I live in, other jurisdictions in Canada. And electricity is a very important part of how we heat our homes, run our industries. Our automobile industry is starting to embrace that, and electricity is a big part of our decarbonization strategy in Canada.
And are there any lessons that you could bring from Canada for Europe, from your experiences?
I think Canada and Europe have a lot to learn from each other, I would say. Because of the way we are regulated, we have a lot of diverse solutions across Canada. And I would like to say to the audience that intense electrification is possible. Heat pumps do work. I've never owned a home that wasn't fully electrified. I've never had heat of any other source other than electricity. And I know there's hesitation that the infrastructure can't take it, that we still need natural gas for heat, and in some jurisdictions that just makes sense. But intense electrification is an option, and I do think we have a lot to offer in how to offer the European market, both from a design and an operations and an implementation perspective on intense electrification, both from a generation and an end-use perspective.
Thank you, Greg, for your insights. And for more insights, sign up to join the Enlit community.